A, B, C, D, E, F is a regular hexagon. The diagram's not accurately drawn. So ABX and DCX are straight lines. AB equals the vector A and BC is the vector B. Express EX in terms of A and B. Give your answer in its simplest form. So we know the vector going from A to B is given as A, and the vector going from B to C is given as B. And we want to find the vector going from E to X. So if we think about going from E to X, we'll go from E to D, from D to C, and then C to X. So from E to X, we're going to go from E to D, and then from D to C, and then from C to X. So that's the vector we want. Now, as this is a regular hexagon, this side here is the same length and parallel to AB. So therefore the vector going from E to D is also given as A. And the vector from D to C is the same as the vector from C to X. These two will be the same, as those two lengths are parallel because they're on the same line and they are the same length, therefore they are the same vector. So if I can find out one of them from D to C or from C to X, the other one's going to be equal to that. And we're going to find the vector going from C to X. So C to X. Now to get from C to X, we can go from C to B and then B to X. So we go from C to B and from B to X. Now here we're going to have a equilateral triangle, because that's one of the properties of a regular hexagon there. We could split it up into equilateral triangles. So therefore, going from C to B is going to be the vector minus B. It's going the opposite way along B. And from B to X is the same vector as A to B. Because if we were to mark off the middle of this hexagon, we'd have the same triangle we've got here. So therefore, from B to X is the same vector as from A to B, which is A. So minus B plus A, or A minus B. So that's the vector going from C to X. So that vector there is A minus B. And this vector here is the same length and parallel to C to X, therefore that's also A minus B. So D to C is A minus B, and C to X is also A minus B. Therefore the complete vector is A plus A plus A is 3A, minus B is minus 2B. So that's the vector going from E to X.